all that remains is just the bones. And then, with a little bit of magic, we get ourselves our glyph of grow. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Subnauticraft, or FTB Oceanblock 2 if you prefer, but that is a really long name, so yeah, just cut it down to Oceanblock 2 if we must. In the last video, we ventured off to the nether, and that was pretty much it. we kind of didn't do much else in the last video because one of my main goals was to try to get myself to the blazing mesh, so that way we could start automating all of our sluicings and stuff. But since then, I have learned many things. I need lage bloom fiber, which means I need to get into Ars Nouveau. That is today's plan. But we're also actually going to need steel in order for us to be able to get the diamond mesh before we can make the blazing mesh, which steel we get from a whole other process that I may or may not do in this video. There is still a lot that does end up going into the creation of steel. It's confusing. I don't have all the information on that. Now, one more thing I want to mention. I also managed to get myself a spell book from those supply drops, and this isn't just any spell book. This is the second tier one. Look at that recipe. That's all sorts of crap. It's like crying obsidian. Oh wait, no, I could just use normal obsidian. Oh, well, I guess that one's not that terrible, but it allows me to skip several steps. So, hey, I love it. Let us go ahead then, and in my giant dirt patch that I have placed right here, let's go ahead and plant ourselves a flourishing archwood. And I forgot the hoe. Let's just go ahead and grab that because I did go on a little adventure, so we got a few good things. And then let us just go ahead and just twerk the tree, if this will work. Aha, yes it will. Okay, because I did plant a lot of these dirt blocks just so that way I'd be able to grow this, because yeah, archwoods grow big and they are pretty. It's like my favorite's actually the purple one, but this one still looks pretty good too. So let us just go ahead, break down the archwood, and there we go. And then we also get ourselves a lot more of these flourishing archwoods. So now with this archwood, we just need to go ahead and then turn it into some planks. I'm pretty sure that any archwood will work because yeah, it's just a miscellaneous plank. It doesn't really change between the kinds. We now just need to go ahead and make ourselves an imbuement chamber. And there we go. We got ourselves new quests. So fortunately for me, even though this one's a little gear, which is usually the start of quest lines, it doesn't seem like the Rs actually has a quest line, which is weird to me. I know that the mod pack's not like completed yet, like they're still in development, so maybe it's in later versions, because there are a few updates since the one I'm in that I haven't updated to yet because I'm really bad at updating, but this should be fine. So now that we have the imbuement chamber, what we want to do is just go ahead and take ourselves some lapis, which is going to take away from our enchanting, but it's fine, I haven't really done much enchanting, and then just plop this in here. After a little while, this thing will absorb the innate magic in the air called source in this mod pack. Well, in this mod, not the pack specifically, but the mod itself. And once it absorbs enough, it will transform this lapis. Now, this can be sped up by having more concentrated source from other source generations that we can get, which I just realized I need to do, because in my enchanting that I'm going to need to do, that's going to need source. Maybe it won't need source. Maybe I can skip that. Yeah, that's gonna go well.
Tomorrow.
Okay, I ended up having to switch it over to daytime because apparently I had not slept for 3 days, and phantoms have emerged. Holy crap, that scared the crap out of me. I just heard like out of the ether as I was just putting in more of these lapis to get myself some more source gems, just just their whole sound effect. Here, let me give you all another example. Alrighty, so I should have all the source gems I'm going to need for right now. So, for us to make the things that we are going to need in order to start getting our enchantments and stuff and get ourselves the Mage Bloom, we first need to get ourselves some of this source stone. For us to get this, and I have mathed out how much I should need, so hopefully I'm not wrong, we just need to go ahead and make this 3 times. But that must be normal stone. I only had cobble. I got my stone actually properly now. So now we have ourselves our source stone, which means now we can go ahead and make ourselves our enchanting apparatus. Once I grab my diamond, because forgot I needed that. Okay, enchanting apparatus, which will now allow us to enchant things. The enchanting core, which will go at the center of it all. And then these these arcane pedestals. So I changed it to daytime just so that way we can get a better look at this. So now what we do is we put our arcane core right here. The arcane core needs to be underneath the enchanting apparatus. After that, we surround this with our arcane pedestals. And do I actually need source for this? If I do, I have a plan. If I don't, I'm really gonna like that. So I got 4 more source gems and our wheat seeds. So if I try to put the seeds right here in the center, not gonna work, because we need to first input the recipe right here. Then we can put it in. We don't need source yet. Oh, that's good. Okay, so that means we now get ourselves the Mage Bloom. Oh, that's awesome, dude. I was worried I was gonna have to end up setting up a farm to be able to get my agronomic source link going, because what this thing does is it grows based off of, well, it makes source off of plants growing. But I might as well end up doing that because I just realized I need to make a farm to grow this.
Later.
Alrighty, I got the farm set up. I got the source link right here with some jars. I just hope it's not out of range, because when I go ahead and try to bone meal these things, it doesn't work. Even when I do it to like this one right here that's closest, that one also does not work. So this might be too high. So just to be certain, if I bone meal, does that work? No. Okay. I figured as much, so that's just going to be the case when it comes to that. That is fine. So, but there we go. Now that we got that whole thing set up, let's just go ahead and grow ourselves our Mage Bloom. There we go. And then with that, that gets us our Mage Bloom fiber, which then sets us up for our blazing mesh. The rest of it is just going to be a blaze powder and then the diamond mesh, which is going to take steel, which this thing is complicated. We need to get right down here, but for us to be able to get this has 2 opposing quest lines. One of which gonna be getting a coke oven, which means I'm gonna need to get into immersive engineering. And then the other thing is called a powered foundry from a mod called Ortec, which is a whole other can of worms that I don't know. Apparently I also need to get Electrum from this, which is another thing that is just going to end up happening, which if we want to get Electrum, we need to get ourselves a whole alloy thing. So it's like that's going to be a whole other process that's gonna happen. But hopefully when we do that, we should be able to get everything for the blazing meshes. So before we end off today, it's gonna end up being a shorter video, so sorry about that. But I mean, you know, we've tapped into the powers of Ars Nouveau, except for one thing: actual magic. There are spells that I can craft with this thing, things that will actually be able to help me when it comes to these. So like, if I were to go ahead and then grow all of this wheat up, just grow it all up just a good bit right up there. Oh, that's not what I wanted, but that's fine. We got it all grown like that. If I were to go ahead and craft a spell of touch mixed with harvest, and then we just call this one grow. That's probably not the best name for this one, but we'll just call it grow 'em for now. Now we right click these and it then will auto harvest for us. Now there are add-ons that we can get that would give this thing like an AoE that would make this a bit more effective. But that's the basic gist of magic. It's just crafting spells to do various things. We could even actually change this to a projectile to where now, if I were to stand far away, we could shoot it out. And if this was grown just a little bit more, we shoot it, and there we go. We could then do spells from far away. I don't know what Harvest on Self would do, but all of this relies on having these glyphs in here. Glyphs are things that I have actually gotten from airdrops. So a few of these I do have before I should be able to actually have them. But we can craft these thanks to a little thing called the Scribes table. All I need to do is just grab myself a few more of these golden nuggets, and then we can go ahead and then make ourselves the Scribes table. There we go. So now if I were to go ahead and then just throw this baby right over here, I would prefer that to not be facing like that. There we go. We got the Scribes table, and then I right click this with my book. Now we can actually see all the glyphs we can craft and what we need for them. What the heck is pantomime? Applies spells to the nearest block in your line of sight. Huh. That's new. But that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is going to be the growth spell. But it takes bone blocks and earth essence. How do I get earth essence? Maybe that isn't difficult. It's not too difficult, but it's going to take imbuement for this. Well, I'm pretty sure that when we do this, it also will work in just the same way as with this one. It'll just take a little while longer. And then bone blocks are still just me gathering up a bunch of those bones right there. So if we go back to grow, and then, so it's gonna take 5 of the bone blocks, 3 seeds of any kind, and then our earth essence. Okay. So we can go ahead and get this started. I just go ahead and I wanted to throw the seeds. Wait, did it already? Oh, right, because this thing can extract from inventory sources as well. So that already took the seeds from in here. Okay, that's good.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Okay, the earth essence has gone into the thing. And the best part about the imbuement thing when we do this, it doesn't actually eat up the crafts. Now, all that remains is just the bones. And then, with a little bit of magic, we get ourselves our glyph of grow. Let's go ahead, learn this baby. And now when we access our spell book, we can go ahead and give Grow'em its true form. And that, I cleared it. We can give Grow'em its true form. And now, if we head on over to our crops, we should be able to give it a bone mealing effect. There we go. So, now the thing is though, it looks like this is also not generating source. But, it's still growing them. And with an AoE effect, this could turn out even better.
Just then.
I forgot one thing. There's twerking. And that does give this thing source. Oh my freaking gosh. I completely forgot about that. Okay, but there we go. We got ourselves a little rudimentary source thing, and we can now continue to craft spells. So before we go off, I want to check something. Because we've got the Scribes table, and we got the crafting station. Now, the crafting station, how this thing works, you put it next to a storage system, and you can see that storage right in it. It's very nice. In 1.16 mod packs, I haven't seen this anywhere else, but in those mod packs, there is a little glitch when we put these next to each other. Can I access it? I can. I don't know if this is going to work. If this works, this is a nightmare. This has no reason to still be in it. I go ahead and put this in, and I take it out. Okay, it's not in it anymore. That is good. So what would happen is when you would have this thing and put items in inventory, if you had more than one, you would take out those two, and then in the slot, there would still be one less than you had before. So let's say I put in all 23 of these, I take it out and there would be 22. And then you just keep cycling it over and over. It was a dupe glitch. I don't know how it worked, but it seems to have been patched. So do you like this video? Good. Then be sure to check out our last Oceanblock 2 video where we went to the Nether. Bye-bye.